All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Tuesday night, another edition of Live from Redhook here at the Function House. And tonight we want to welcome back a guest on a show. He was on our show last year, did a killer set.
Thank you.
DJ Finesse.
Thank you for having me back.
I love when guys like this come back to the show.
Thank you for
That
having
means
me back.
they didn't touch it the way they wanted to touch it, so I get the call back, yo.
I could do it like 20 times, and I'm always going to find something like, damn, I rushed that, I rushed this. And the last time I watched them, like, damn, I told you, I prepared the night before a lot of stuff, and it doesn't come out the way you want. You don't remember where cue spots. And you're like, I want to do it again, and have all this time to prepare, and I prepared 4 o'clock this afternoon. So real life kind of gets in the way of
You're your own worst critic.
always.
Like putting out tracks and putting out mix CDs, it must be terrible for you in the studio.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is you start listening to it. I have to listen to them a few times before I know, all right, it's good.
So like Big Over Premiere, how long did that take to come out?
Honestly, it took about a month. I was done with it in 2 weeks, but I was EQing with Ableton EQs, and then I realized that the Waves EQs sound better, so I went and re-EQ'd the whole thing and extended it another 2 weeks. But in the end, at the end of the day, when you finish it, you go, there it is.
That mixtape was bananas. You got like over 1 million plays with that.
Yeah. I'm waiting for my plaque somewhere. It's like a million for a mixtape. That's a lot.
We have it upstairs.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's it came about just I was doing Premiere show, and I figured like I was filling it for Premiere on March 9th. And I say to myself, like, how can I do something different than everybody's already done every biggie thing they could possibly do? And I have instrumentals that Premieres gave me that basically nobody has, so it's kind of like I could kill 2 birds in one stone. I could show off some instrumentals that aren't out there, and I could put biggie acapellas over it. And the response was so crazy that I had to do a full mix. You just say, I got to do a full one. People calling in like, yo, why'd you stop? And the show I do for Premiere is all new underground show, like everything new from the underground.
Yep.
Kind of like Eclipse and Riz do the same thing. And I didn't want to flood the whole show. And Premiere's like, you should have just went the whole way. You could have done it, And then I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to do a mixtape. And then.
So that's how it came about.
Yeah.
So what went into the selection of the music that you picked out for the tape?
It just had to pocket the vocals. It had to sound like it was
So everything had to be in key, obviously.
Oh, that's without a doubt. That's if it ain't.
How bad is when like somebody's playing an acapella over a beat and it's out of key?
It's like when you hear somebody scratch the board on the chalkboard, and you just like, what the hell is that?
A lot of DJs don't get that, man. And now they make it easier for you because they're like keying the records for you in the program. So,
but a lot of DJs don't get a lot of things. It's the scary part is you can be naive and new and start learning things, but the scary part is these kids don't even want to learn.
yeah.
Like I'm been DJing almost 30 years. I still study and try to learn anything new. I'm trying to pick it up just to know, because that's what I love about DJing and turntables. Like, you could be doing this 50 years and you could still screw up.
Yeah.
Especially on the turntables, no sync button, but that's one of the things that I love about it, and the kids just don't want to learn. Like, you have to pick it up. Study music. Music is, you're mixing records, you're mixing music, so you should know how music goes. And if you can't hear that it's out of key, that's a big problem.
Yeah.
Are we going to get a part 2, Big and Premiere?
No. When Big and Premiere came out, everybody was hitting me up like, yo, why don't you do, another one? Why don't you do, Big over Nas, or, Jay-Z over Nas? And when I was doing it and I finished it, Premiere loved it, and he's like, I was telling him how people were just hitting me up like, yo, do this. And I'm like, yo, I wouldn't do that because they're still alive. There's still a chance for that to really happen.
Yeah.
A full Biggie album with Premiere was never going to happen. He died, but people loved it. The response was crazy. And now there's like a bootleg whack Jay-Z version of Jay-Z over Premier, and it's corny, you know, because number one, I wasn't even trying to listen to it on a hater side. I was trying to be a fan. I'm never trying to hate.
There's another CD out now?
Yeah, just recently released. There's a mixtape done. It's Big Over at Jay-Z. And the person actually like retweeted my Big Over Premier, so he knows it exists. You know, so listen, if you're going to do it, just do it funky. I'm never here to fucking hate on the game of DJing.
Right.
If you're doing something, just make it dope. And it was like, it was weak. It was just weak. Like, out of all the mixes, there was one. I was like, all right, that one was dope. But the records don't sound right. There was no, like, it doesn't flow. Like, you listen to Live from Brooklyn, it flows. You know, minute one a mixtape's just supposed to flow.
Yeah. Well, it's supposed to tell a story.
Right.
You know?
And I don't know, like, maybe I'm just being too critical, but I'm always a fan first. No matter who it is. Even if somebody doesn't like me as a person, and I know they don't like me, but they're a DJ, I'm like, I'm still a fan. I want to hear you play good. I want to hear something that's like, oh, I like that.
Yep.
It goes back to that, and I don't know.
I want to know who it is, but maybe you tell me who it is after the show.
Put it on blast, Finesse. Put it on blast.
It's not that.
So let's jump to 92.3. You've been on 92.3 for a while. They just closed down. How did that affect you at all?
J Dobby came to me in the spring. I was DJing, and he shows up to the club I was at, and he's like, yo, you want to be down? And I was, I wasn't going to say no just because he came to me and offered me, and I said, but Jay, I have to be able to do me. You know, I don't want, it's a pop radio station. I have to be able to flavor it my way because I can't play these records. And he was like, yo, and shout out to Jay because he's come to me for many things, and he's like, yo, I just want you to be you. You know, so he gave me the opportunity to be me. And Intercom bought out CBS, and then they changed the station overnight. Nobody knew, nobody saw it coming. I mean, we knew that the station was sold, but it was just one afternoon. I was like,
That's
there's
so
5
crazy.
minutes left, and now we're going to become an alternative station.
So what was it, like 7, 8 months you were on there?
Probably 6 or 7 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every Friday night and Saturday night from 1 to 2 a.m.
And you were playing live on the radio, or was it? Or did you do
Live, sometimes
some
if you're doing a
pre-mixed?
gig, you're pre-mixing,
Yep.
you know, because those are the hours you're in a club working.
Yep.
So you were doing 2 nights a week on the radio?
Yeah.
That's a ton of work for you.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. And
Yeah.
it's a lot of work trying to, if people don't understand radio, there's playlists. You have to follow some type of a format, even though you can go off a little bit and switch it. But when you're following a playlist and trying to take the same batch of records and mix them in different ways and try and keep it funky and trying to keep it different, it becomes difficult, and 2 nights a week, 2 hours a week it was a lot because it's not like you're doing a 2-hour straight show where you could just play a bunch of different songs. You're playing two hours in 2 separate days, and it's kind of like the same playlist.
Yeah.
So it's like I would do blends or switch the beat, and if I found an acapella, I was definitely switching the beat and
And it's
trying to make
got to
it more.
be perfect.
I mean, that's the format.
Yeah. No, I know.
It's the what's the word? It's the discipline. Like it's not that it's just gotta sound right. It's
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
gotta sound like a record.
Yep.
If the remix, if you're doing a blend and it don't sound like they belong together, just find something else.
So I heard with the radio though, like there are certain hours when they're not rating the airwaves. So like you have a more leeway as to what you
Yeah.
can play versus, if you're
Yeah.
playing at 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, they had a couple times I was a guest at 8 p.m.
Yep.
and there you really have to follow the playlist.
Yeah, yeah.
And there'd be songs on the list where they're charted like these are must every hour. At the 1 a.m. hour, I'd be like, I'm skipping that. Like, I'll wait till I get in trouble before I play that record.
Yeah.
And then, but when you do the 8 o'clock hour, you really have to.
Well, I mean, that was like when Hot 97 used to do the Saturday night dance party, man. It used to play 10 to 2 a.m. live in a
Right.
club. And usually after 12 o'clock, they were playing whatever. even early too. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
I
just
mean
like,
that's the way it should be, because from those hours, like, you still need to break records. Still needs to be something new.
and people are going out, so they're in the car, they're listening to
Yeah,
the music
yeah.
they want to hear. Like if they hear like a fat mix or something, like
Yeah,
that gets them excited.
I can't even lie. One week, they were like, "Yo, you went off the playlist a little too much." So the following week, I followed by the rules a little too much, and then I got showed the ratings. Like at 1 a.m., you started off with this song. I was just trying to get it out of the way. Like, just get it off the list and then go through my pix. And they're like, yo, the ratings went right after that one song. Yeah. And then after that, I was like, yo, I'm not following any playlist at 1 a.m.
So doing 2 hours, 2 hours a week, you had no time to do any of your production. There was no more like practice and DJing going on. It was just putting the show together.
I mean, you still have time for other things, but right now, real life is just taking away time from practicing and music making. I'm getting married in 3 months.
Congratulations.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
congrats,
much.
bro.
Who's DJing
Renovating
your
my
wedding?
house.
Who's DJing Finesse's
You want
wedding?
to really know something? That is one of the number one questions everybody says to me. Everybody says that, like, yo, who's DJing? Nikki G's doing it. He did my fiance's sister's wedding.
Yep.
We know him a long time.
I know Nicky. He's a
Yeah.
good
Good
DJ.
DJ.
Yeah,
He's a
and
good
he knows
DJ.
what to do. And I also could, at the same time, it's easier for me to tell him, like, hey, play this, or, even if I give him a 10-minute mix that I want to
Yep.
do, it's easier for me to interrupt and say that. And then
So you're gonna do a set at your own wedding?
I don't know. The funny thing is, when I'm a guest at a wedding, people always say, like, when are you getting on?
Yeah.
Or are you getting on? And I didn't want my friends to feel that way.
Yep.
Like, everybody's like, yo, is Riz getting on? Is Premier getting on? And I'm like, no, man. Like, if, let's say, at 12:30 at night, there's a free-for-all,
Yep.
and everybody takes a turn, cool, but
You should bring a setup just in case.
no, there's going to be a setup.
Yeah.
There's going to be turntables.
So there's gonna
there.
be a lot of heavy-hitter DJs there, huh?
There's
Not literally heavy-hitter DJs.
Yeah, no. There's no heavy hitters, but I have some talented friends.
There's gonna be some good.
There's
DJs.
one really talented table.
Yeah.
There's one
yeah.
really, really talented table, and
Probably call that table. Right now.
I'd put my money on that table versus anybody in the world. Put it that way.
Yep.
So there might be, everybody asks me, are you going to get on? Is, Riz going to get on? Premier going to get on? Or, such and such going to get on? And I'm like, I want everybody to have a good time.
Yeah, of
I
course.
just like, if at 12:30 a.m.,
Well,
drinks are flying and we just start going nuts.
Keep Hennessy away
I think
Yeah.
with Nikki G DJing, you guys
Yeah.
are gonna have a good time.
Yeah, we're definitely,
Yeah.
it was a selection, like, we want a good party. We want somebody who can cover. She's Italian, I'm Puerto Rican. Somebody who can just cover everything.
Yep.
And we know, feel comfortable, not
Yeah.
worry about who you have.
Yeah. yeah.
Speaking of Riz, I seen you put up a video on Instagram or something. You guys in the studio together.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I don't really want to say what the project is, but we're working on something.
So something's going on between Riz and Finesse.
A year ago, I did Q-Tip's Abstract Radio. I did a mix that I just submitted, and they played it on the radio station. And after that, he was like, yo, let's do a mix. Like, we hadn't done one in, I don't know, I think it's now 14 years. And we used to, do all those Labor Day mixes for Las Vegas.
Yep.
And he was like, yo, let's do one. And in sitting thinking about it is like, people are going to expect, or DJs, I'm not even people, because
of course.
we're always playing these mixtapes for the DJs. They're
Right.
going to expect, what are we going to come with? You're going to play new music? You're going to play the regular classics? Like, it's got to be at a level where it's like, oh,
It's hard to
They
be at
bro-
the top, right?
that table that's at my wedding, this guy's above me at that table. But
No, but you got to come correct. I understand. Like,
you really, there's a bar that not even that people set for us. We set for
yourself,
ourselves.
yeah, of
The
course.
two of us are the craziest critics. It's like, like, no. And then, I don't want to I can't give it away
no,
because.
don't give it away. 'Cause I want to be surprised myself.
Yeah.
So when do you think that's gonna drop?
We haven't worked on it in months just because real life is taking over for the moment. But we constantly, we're constantly on the phone and ideas or saying, you know, like, we're going to get back to it. But just, we've got 60 minutes done already. And it's to the...
have 90 though, right? You
no,
can't
it
put out
might be
60.
2 hours. We got so much content, it might have to be like a part 1 and a part 2. Like there was a couple times in making it, the parts that we've done, where we fucking look at each other and just smile, like, oh my God. Like being fans ourselves, like if it was
Right.
like an out-of-body experience, like when the idea struck and it was
Yep.
like, and then, you know, I say something and he's like, ooh, and then we'll do this. And then when you start putting it together, and then when you hear it back, you shake your head and smile, like, oh my God.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah, it's cool because you could be a fan still. Like, it's something that excites us.
Yep.
And, you know, and then we both have it in, like, our mailboxes where he can work on a part at home. I can add something, and then, you know, I might wake up and see on my computer, like, that he touched it. And I'm opening it up, like, what did he do? And then that triggers you, like, shit, I got shit to do today, but I got an idea, you know, and I can't lie. I want it to get done. I want it to be done so I can hear it.
Yeah.
It's...
So where do you find the time to teach people? Because I know now you're teaching production, you're teaching DJing. Like, where do you find time to do all this?
You just squeeze it in wherever you know, like I've been...
What do you book out, like, hour segments with people? Like, they'll just book you for an hour?
I feel like more people have been booking 2 hours because an hour goes by fast. You know, an hour can zip by, and then it's like you want more. And then you're not going to wait another week. But I have one particular teacher that one particular student I teach, I actually go to his house. You know, other people I bring to my studio. It depends on what works out for you and how it works, you know. If it's feasible for me to go to your house, then I do that, whatever you're comfortable on.
So if people want to book you to teach them DJing and production, where do they go?
Just hit me on Instant Messenger on
Facebook, Instagram?
yeah, Instagram or anything like that. I first started teaching Ableton a long time ago because I was like hip to Ableton like in 06. And then I really started making mixtapes off it in 08 and got really into it. And then friends would get on it and be like, this is like Chinese math. I don't understand it. And then I started teaching, and that led into, I taught some guys with big names that like changed their lives. They like turned to Ableton and that's it. Like now it's over. I'm an Ableton guy. Dropping their Logic, dropping this. And then I said, you know what? I should start doing DJing also.
Yep.
You know, I'm not saying I'm the best there is, but I know a lot of stuff that I can share, and I just want to share. You want to help people get better.
Yeah, of course.
You know, you want the next generation, or even, you know, people my age to just, you want to learn. If I can learn from somebody else, you know, it's
giving back.
Yeah, it's giving back, and truthfully it's because I just love DJing. You know, anything. I don't care if there's 100,000 people better than me. I appreciate it. I love it to where I want to see it where, like, oh, I can't even do that. Like, what is that, you know? And it's the art form. It breaks my heart when I see somebody who is horrible on the set and they're walking around big-headed like they're the shit. And then people think, oh, he's the shit. Like, oh, you fucking shit. You're shitty. It's... Like this is something I love so much that I just want to see everybody be dope.
Did you watch any of the 8-track DJ
Oh,
battle?
absolutely. The kid Miles Medina. Oh my God, but that's the next level.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that was the dope thing about the battle. You know, the Goldie Awards. Shout out to 8-track. It's taking it beyond like DMC, where it's just turntables or just CDJs. It's the next level. He understands we're moving into an age where there's controllers, where there's, you know, there's other stuff you can do.
Yeah.
And he realized, like, yo, we need a new generation of battle guys in a different style. Because, truthfully, DMC was starting to get boring.
Yeah.
Because you've seen it all, and the new guys are doing pretty much the same stuff old guys. I always tell people, I've had guys come to my house that are friends of mine that could wipe the new generation out with their freestyles. Shout out to Ruckus, shout out to Spectacular. Like, they're just so dope that they can just, you know, clean the new DMC guys out with their old stuff. So this HVAC thing was amazing. It was needed. It was definitely needed.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the private party, special events scene?
Honestly, I'm starting to. I mean, I've always done them, but I was always brought in as the closer. It's funny. A friend of mine calls me Mariano Verde, because he goes, "You come in and that's it." Yeah. And I would come in the last hour, the last 2 hours after the wedding was. Now it's club time. Yeah. Play my club style. But now I've been doing more of not just like doing the closing hour. Like I'll play anything. Like I'll play the opening.
You've done a celebrity's wedding.
Tracy Morgan's wedding. Yeah, Jay Darby and I. Jay hit me up. He's like, "Yo, I need you," and I'm like, "What do you need?" He's like, "We got to do Tracy Morgan's wedding." I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, we got to go to his house and meet him and talk to him about music." And the funny thing is, we pull up and Tracy Morgan's looking at us two like, "What the hell are you guys gonna do?" Like you. Many times I've done parties where people are like, "What the hell is this guy gonna do?" And that was one. Pulling up to his house, and you definitely felt the look. Like,
was he funny as shit when you pulled up there?
The craziest thing, it was right after it was a couple months after the accident. And when we walk in the house, he's like, "Yo, I got the music I want to show you is on my TV, on my iTunes." So we're like, "All right, cool." Yo, he plays, the first thing he plays is the video of the CNN video of his accident. And he's like, "See that? That's my friend dead." And me and Jay like bugging, like, "Whoa," like you just walked into, we thought we were gonna be showing music, and he's showing us this. And it's like, so now you don't know how to come. And then he switches it up where he's like, "Yo, let's walk around my house." And he spent an hour showing us his home, his family, this, that. And when he was done, he said, "Listen, we're done with that. Now you know me. Now we're friends. Understand, now this ain't, I had to get that out of the way." He goes, "Now we'll talk music." And as we're talking music, he realizes I know my shit in the area that he wants.
Yep.
So he's feeling comfortable, and he's getting more comfortable. But he's also fresh off the accident, but he's still Tracy Morgan, the comedian.
Yeah.
Yo, he stands up, and just in front of me and Jay Darby, he's doing stand-up. Literally where those fucking turntables are. Tracy Morgan's doing personal stand-up for us. He's doing routines, and we're bugging out like, "Oh my God." We're getting stand-up, and he's trying it on us. And it was, completely funny. And,
So you guys broke bread with him for like 2-3 hours?
It was about 4 hours.
Wow.
And we leave, and then like a week later, we get the call. It's like, "You guys got the wedding." And when Jay hit me up, I was like, "Yo, if I need to, I'll make a 10-minute mix to submit so they know that I know what they're looking for." And I submitted the mix, and it helped out. And it definitely made a difference. And meeting him and speaking to him, he understood it wasn't young guys. It was guys who know their stuff.
So how was the party?
Amazing. Like, people dancing, and like, it was a rocking party.
So you weren't just the closer for that party?
No.
You did the whole thing?
Yeah, Jay opened it up, and then he just gave the floor to me. And he shout out to Jay. He trusted in me like, "Yo, you got it." And it was an amazing party. It was really amazing to see.
That's the beauty about private parties, is that people are actually dancing to the music.
Yeah.
And plus, that guy is never going to forget you, bro.
Yeah.
You DJ'd his
You know what
wedding.
the funny thing was? He goes, "Listen, if you guys see me in the club and I don't recognize you right away," he's like, "Go like this." He goes, "I'll know who you are." And that like that was part of one of his stand-up jokes. And we were just dying. He's like, "All you got to do is that. I know." And he, shout out to Tracy Morgan, shout out to his wife, his whole family. It was really amazing party. And you do good, or you did good when the older family members on their way out like, "Yo, good job."
Yeah.
And that's all you want.
Yeah.
But that was fun. Private's a beautiful thing.
And he's gonna know you for the rest of his life because you did his wedding.
I hope so. I signed off on a paper that I'll never see the video or have video of it. So I would love to see it, and relive part of it.
That's great, bro. Well, we're happy to have you here again.
No, the pleasure's all mine.
You prepared something for us? I mean, you don't have to prepare anything.
I mean, I always like to prepare, but I don't know. I tried to whip up something today for a couple hours, and it's.
We're looking forward to hearing.
Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it.
We'll see what I could do.
All right, we'll take a
All
2-minute break. We're going to get Finesse up on the decks. Peace.
Peace.